What's up, YouTube? Kind of gave away the reveal. So I wanted to give you a sneak peek on our new models of flatbed. So this is our 2025 model. I'm going to do a short that pretty much gives you the overview, but I want to talk about things we've changed. And this one is actually a prototype finish. But basically the build is the same. The only difference is going to be, I think this is the last bed that is rolling out of here with paint on it. I think the next are going to have like a bed and undercoating liner, so it's much more resistant. That's one of the issues I've never liked. There you can see the headache rack behind me. Doesn't that look slick? One of the issues with the beds, it hasn't been an issue. I haven't had any complaints. It's just for my own personal being. I don't like, because I painted my flatbed, and I know that after about 3-ish years, it looks really rough. The paint on them is really hard because at the end of the day, the guys who are buying these things are working them, and they're working them hard. And man, they're constantly loading and unloading materials on them and strapping stuff down, using chain binders, hauling trailers, all that kind of stuff, off-roading. It's wintertime, so they're constantly driving in salt, and no paint's going to hold up to that. The other thing, everyone says, well, you should have looked into powder coat. Literally, when I called my powder coater, we have one, and I'm talking to him, he told me that powder coating is going to hold up a little bit better in paint, but really not that much. It's more about finish. And he's the one who gave me the idea. He says, what you really want to do is get like a rhino liner. We've tested them in the past. The durability is great. The trouble is, before I was trying to spray them, and like it just, I don't know if I did something wrong or what, but the stuff just seemed to like destroy my gun. And the finish looked good, but at the cost of needing a new gun every time we have to paint one, I don't want to do that. So we are going to try some of the roll-on stuff. Rolling on, I think, is going to be a little bit slower, but I don't know because I won't have to really do as much masking in the shop. So we'll see. But without further ado, this is the new bed. Really, the only thing that's changed is the headache rack. The big thing I wanted to do was I wanted to rotate the top lights and raise them so you had more visual out of your back window. So that was important. And then, as you can see, well, here you can see we have 4 of the 3/4-inch circle lights. Whereas before, I just had one. We were using... Yeah, here we go. Before, we were using these 2-inch lights. So, as you can see, much different in size. The only thing I didn't like about using the 2-inch lights, the 3 2-inch lights, it looked so crowded in the back. This gives it a much, much sleeker look. Now, one thing you're probably wondering is, what is all this stuff? This stuff is not going to generally be on there. This truck is he plows snow, and this is his salt spreading truck. So he has I believe I might be getting this backwards, but a high-low attachment, a high-low quick connect for his back blade, and his salt spreader is wired up to a 7-way plug. So I put... And then, of course, a 7-way trailer plug for hauling a trailer. So that's why he has 2. And then this, because his quick connect will slide in from the back here. And you can't really see it, but there's 2 holes that he'll be able to bolt it down. Yes, I measured the bed to make sure all that will fit. That was just the easiest way, I thought. And then he can kind of connect them all. The other thing that is different with these, and actually... he custom ordered this, so with the new beds, there are going to be a couple options, and I'll go over those, but he custom ordered these lights going down the side. Oh, I gotta push that one here. Okay, he ordered all of these lights going down the side, and then he ordered these lights too coming down. Actually, I suggested these, but he ordered these lights coming down the sides. The headache rack, our old ones being all sealed because it was all tubing, it was good, except the one thing I worried about was what happens if you have to work on the wiring harness, if you want to change a light, or some people want to add stuff. It's very difficult because you're trying to fish it all through this tube. So, this is open. We formed these on our Swag Off-Road finger brake, which I actually like a lot better. We still use some tubing, so it's pretty strong. I don't know, the old ones might be stronger, but I definitely like the look of these way better. The other thing is usually, we've kept these posts, but we've added these 3 half-inch solid stocks running across it. So that's going to protect your rear window, but it's going to be able to let you see a lot more. I mean, the visibility through this headache rack versus our old style headache racks is tremendously better. Now, if someone wanted the old model, we'll still build them. Oh, I forgot to mention, but this model, outside of the lights on the side, is what we're going to build stock to have at the shop. What might end up happening, because the headache rack, the footprint is the same, so we might build headache racks and you can pick which headache rack you want, and all we have to do is weld it on and run the wires. But the other big difference, as you can see, it's a much shorter skirt. In fact, there's almost no skirt. This was another thing he special ordered because in the summer he puts really big tires and he was worried about clearance. I'm not sure if it was going to be an issue or not, but he did order that. And with the lights, he did want to come down another inch. Normally, the new side railing, it's going to be about 4.5 inches. So we're not going to have any spot for... we're not going to have any wheel wells or anything cut out. It's just going to be straight down the side. Again, if you want to order a mini skirt bed from us, you could. You just have to wait for whatever our build time is. Reason I'm doing it this way is last year, I feel as if I lost out on probably 10 flatbeds because I didn't have one sitting here ready to go, and I want to capture those sales. So, he wanted to do all these things with lights. I sent him sketched up on Fusion 360 of what this headache rack would look like from the back and the side. He liked it. He says, I love all the lights. Let's go with that. So, boom. The last option that you'll have is to add a step from here to here on each side. Not in the center because every truck has a different fifth wheel hitch on it. And I don't want to interfere with where those sit, but it does give you a good step on either side if you have to get back up into the bed. All that being said, I just finished the wiring harness, so it's kind of dirty. Someone asked, I can't remember if it was on a YouTube video or on Facebook, but somebody asked how I do the wiring harness, and because I build them. I build these wiring harnesses, and I will try to make a note to make maybe a video of it, because there's 2 ways I can make a video, because I build them. I have a template, so I can build them and then install them, and I guess they were more talking about installing if scratching the bed was a problem. Because I'd like to at least, once they're painted, let them sit in a heated shop for 2 days to kind of let the paint harden, because paint's kind of soft when it's new. But anyways, after the 2 days, those Harbor Freight moving pads, I just throw 1 of those on top, maybe 2 if it's like a long bed or anything, and that pretty much covers it. That protects it. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you think of this this new flatbed. I will get a video of it on the truck. I'm excited to see all the lights work. One question a friend asked me, he said on the black, and I know he watches the channel, on the black, or excuse me, on the red 3/4 inch lights, are they brake lights or are they tail lights? Standard, they're going to come wired as tail lights. I don't see why we couldn't wire them for brake lights. So we could do that. I've also thought about putting another tail light here and then putting the reverse light under it. So all of these could light up as tails and blinkers. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking about it. We're playing with it. If somebody wanted to do that, we could. And then the other thing to note on these is our reverse lights are high beam, low beam. So we always wire the high beam to your reverse lights, but then we give you a blue wire in the harness that you could hook to a toggle switch for work lights. So if it's dark and you're hooking up a trailer, the rear reverse lights and the top reverse lights will come on if you turn on that toggle switch. And with the 4 of them, it's really bright if you're hooking up a trailer or trying to load something at night or doing whatever. Even if you're just working on something and need some light, you can flip them switches on. Yeah, so super cool. This is the second bed for the year. We have one more on order to build, and then we have one more. We have one more in design right now, but we have like 5 kind of rough quotes out that if the quote gets approved, we move them to design, final quote, and then move to build them. But we have a lot of other stuff coming out. We have the smoker build, which has to happen pretty quick because that has to be ready for spring. And I'd really like to have one of the verticals and a Santa Maria already about a month before spring hits. So, we can do stuff. The tractor, we are only waiting on like a few little parts. I had to get a new head. And the new head didn't come with lash caps. He sent me the valves and everything, but they didn't come with lash caps. So the motor's in, everything on the sides is hooked up and ready. Batteries in it. We just have to put the lash caps in, gap the valves, and then put the valve cover on, bolt that down, put fluids in it, then everything's done except we are upgrading our pump that runs our loader. So we're waiting on the new pump and shaft. Once the new pump and shaft are in, everything's there and we're ready to go. I feel like we were missing something else with the motor, but I can't in my mind. Oh, I got to get a thermostat, which I'll just go to any store and grab one of those, but I can't remember what the other thing was we were missing. There were 2 things that we had to call the supply store on, and man, now I can't remember what the other thing was, but I don't think it was very big. Oil filter. We don't have an oil filter for it, so that was, I think, maybe the other thing, but I don't remember. So anyways, when the tractor's done, we'll bring it here. And then we need to put a skid steer quick attach plate on the front of it. And then we can finish our snow pusher. We can build a bucket. We can build forks. I think I want to build 5 attachments for it this year. And that's the snow pusher, bucket, forks, a grapple, and then a box blade for the back. If I can have time to do 2 others, I'll do a weighted roller for the 3-point. And I don't know. I might make the weighted roller able to either hook to the 3-point or the quick attach plate, or I'll make a quick attach plate to go to the 3-point. I haven't decided which one yet, but I'll do one of those. The other thing is it's a weighted roller, but it has fins on it. And what I want to do with that is it's kind of like the idea, our back, I'm trying to improve the grass and the soil. and I don't want to just mow it, but I would like to let all the grass grow until it's about ready to go to seed and then crimp it. And it lays down, knocks the seeds out, or I might even plant seeds over it. I don't know yet. It depends on money and time. But I'll do that. And those are all attachments that I want to sell. But I think before I want to list them for sale, obviously I want to use them for a few months, make sure there's no problems. But then I think I want to build inventory. Because my problem right now with the flatbeds is they sell kind of a little faster than I make them. And my whole idea with the flatbeds was I want to have a few out back in stock. And then as people buy them, I don't have to, build a bed. It's not like a phone call comes and it's a week-long job. It's a day or two. And then I can kind of get back and hit the mobile stuff a little bit harder and the construction stuff. Because the instruction stuff, it's kind of taken off a little. It seems a little heavy this year. And I'm happy for it because it's easy and it's kind of fun. So we'll see how that works, but I'm going to try. The goal this year is to the stuff I build to have stock on it and then kind of be able to get back into the day-to-day work. So we covered the smokers, we covered the tractors, covered the flatbeds, covered the attachments. I think that was everything I wanted to touch on in this video. It's Tuesday night. I'll probably upload this video tomorrow night. It's been a good week for us so far. This bed was supposed to be installed tomorrow. Actually, it was supposed to be installed today and then picked up tomorrow, but we are getting snow and ice storms right now, and again, it's his plow truck and salt truck, so he can't be done with it. So it might get on this weekend. It might sit here for a couple weeks waiting for the install of the bed, which that's kind of one of the things that, like, the deposit I get on them covers the materials. So now I'm sitting on the labor, which isn't terrible because we have a lot of other stuff going on, but it's one of them things that, it's kind of one of them things. That's why I would like to just have them built stock. So, when I get the money, it's just a one sum. And when I build them stock, I really want to look more into finding someone else to install them so that I just have to sell them, build them and sell them. That's my goal. I don't have to install them because sometimes the install goes really easy, but sometimes it's not. And just being one person, it usually takes me about 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours if the weather's bad to install them. And at that rate, what I get for installing them, I could almost build the time I have into it, I could pretty dang close have another bed at least welded out. So I'd rather just find someone else to install them. They can make a few $100. I don't care if they want to mark the beds up. If you wanted to charge $300 to install them and mark the beds up $200, I'm fine with that. Because if I can sell more of them and not have to install them, I'll be money ahead. And if I don't have to take the time to install them, I can focus more on building them. So, anyways, that was the thought process. But the other things we have coming in down the pipeline is another flatbed, a pretty custom one. It's a big box bed, big front box, not necessarily a service body, but a big box with a auxiliary fuel tank. And man, I think that's it for flatbeds. And then we have a boiler job to do, a big one. It's like a 400-gallon boiler that's very old. We're going to rebuild it instead of just repair it. So that one's going to be fun. I like doing those. I've only done it a few times, but I do like doing those. And then we have we have another order for all the aluminum drain boxes. I'm surprised to get an order again that quick, but I'm super stoked because that's a really good job. That's like $1,000 or so, depending on the order, but a few $100 to $1,000 in like a couple days work. So I always like when those come in. And then we have a house remodel that will be good. And that will just about lead us into the spring. So in that meantime, we have to get the smokers done. I think after these next 2 or 3 jobs get done, we really have to focus on the smokers and get those ready. Yeah, so that's pretty much how our first few months of 2025 are going, which is good. We've hit the ground really hard. I was talking to one of the guys who subcontracts some of the construction work to us, and he knew I had some flatbeds to build, so he turned down a big job, but he has a couple other ones kind of in the works. So we're busy. The nice thing about doing construction jobs is it's a little less money, but there's better volume. And instead of having to do it by myself, I can have 2 people helping me. My wife will help, and then our employee for the construction stuff will help. So at this kind of stage, it's almost like I almost make more money doing that than I do welding, because we can just get jobs done faster. Springtime hits, and we will have a guy in the welding shop. So, then it will probably offset it even more, and then welding will make more money. But the good news is, if a flatbed build does come in, I can have someone working on it, and I can still kind of go navigate other things. Because by the end of the year, I really want to step away from the labor and do just kind of more of the scheduling and stuff. But, that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, I hope everyone else is having a great start to 2025. It's like mid-January already, so that's kind of crazy. It's cold up here, I tell you that. I'm jealous of all our southern viewers. The other day, Monday, when I got up for work, it was 7 but felt -5. And then when I went up north to measure a job, it was -2 but felt like -10. And I think that felt like -10 was kind of BS, because it was so windy that day. And when it gets into the negatives and it's windy, I feel like, especially for us, because we usually get a west wind, and we have the Great Lakes right there. So it gets that wind. It doesn't even matter how many clothes you have on. It just cuts through everything, and you're just chilled to the bone. So that being said, we do need to finish getting the shop insulated. I don't even know where it's going to fit in, and we're already talking about booked through work for this till the spring. So I feel really dumb not having it done, but I might just have to come out here on a Sunday and get it done. Is what it is, I suppose. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal for last year was 3,000 subs. And we hit last week we hit 2,600. So we were a few subscribers short, but I got busier than I thought I'd be last year, and now I'm just trying to do more YouTube. So sometimes it'll be vlogging, sometimes it will be welding videos and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We got big fun things coming in 2025, and I'm excited for it. So that being said, guys, have a good rest of your evening. Cheers.